It's so crazy to me how fragile the human body actually is. You could literally die from anything. 10 things you didn't know could kill you. I'm already scared to watch this because I'm literally scared of everything. I'm scared of spiders. I'm scared of every single thing that's venomous and toxic and poisonous, if that's even a thing for animals. I'm quite literally scared of the building I'm in just collapsing. I'm scared of everything. That doesn't mean I don't live my life, but I'm always scared that something could go wrong. Now I feel like after watching this, I'm going to be paranoid about more things. But let's get right into it. I just want to see, okay, how long my intro was. Now,
Air hoses.
air
Contrary to
hoses.
belief, air hoses are extremely
Air hoses. I'm cooked, guys.
dangerous, although they're often used
Ow.
for filling up car tires, blowing out dust in keyboards, and inflating huge bouncy castles. They also carry enough pressure to tear through skin, damage internal organs, or even be fatal if mishandled.
Dang.
On a calm morning in May 2011, a truck driver in New Zealand was going about his daily routine. He climbed onto the rigging between his truck's cabin trailer, a place he'd stood countless times before. But in one unlucky moment, his boot slipped, and instead of falling on steady ground,
Oh
the man fell
no,
backwards
bro.
straight onto his compressed air hose. The brass nozzle punctured him through his left buttock, and in an instant, high pressurized air about 100 pounds per square inch began flooding into his body. As if it were straight out of a cartoon, the man's body began to inflate in size. Air forced its way beneath his muscles and fat, separating his tissue like it were sheets of paper. His chest tightened, his skin stretched, and his face ballooned into a grotesque puff. Co-workers who happened to cross his path
Yo,
screamed,
yo. I think I should have said this earlier, but disclaimer. Disclaimer is that warning, trigger warning. I don't know what to say. But if you know you can't handle these things like me, don't watch this. I'm literally enduring this for you guys. I don't like watching things. Ugh. I don't like watching things like this. What the fuck?
in terror. They quickly rushed to his side, shocked at the mortifying sight. They shut off
Bro,
the air supply and
why
carefully rolled him onto
why didn't he get up himself?
his side, knowing
What?
his lungs and heart were under pressure. Ice packs were pressed against his swollen neck and chest to try and ease the suffocating strain. Ambulance crews arrived as fast as they could, but when they found the man, he could barely breathe. His body literally doubled in size. It was full with so much air that every time an EMT tried to put a needle in his body to start an IV, the air would just push it right out.
Damn.
Doctors later compared his skin to feeling like densely packed bubble wrap just waiting to explode. But luckily for this man, he didn't explode.
Whoa.
It took days for the air to escape his tissue, but against all odds, he survived by farting it all out of his body. Others, however,
Well, thank God for that.
wouldn't be as lucky. Like the time a poultry worker in Mississippi got carried away with his friend while horseplaying, and for some odd reason, he decided to stick an air hose in his,
What
The air
is
pressure from the
wrong
hose
with
was so
you
immense
people?
that he blew up from the inside, rupturing most of his organs in the process.
That is murder.
Surprisingly, there are a lot of cases like this, so even though they're fun to play with, air hoses are dangerous. Always
Stay away from air hoses, guys, and please don't fool around with them. That's even worse. Why would you even stick it up your ass, someone's ass intentionally?
keep them in safe places, and please don't
Bro.
misuse them. A broken
And better keep them away from kids.
heart. It shouldn't be, but true love often
No, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I was hoping people couldn't actually die from this.
feels like one of the rarest things to find in life, and once you find it, you never want it to leave you. Such wasn't the case for a man who was forced to read his wife's eulogy at her funeral after he supported her for a 4-year battle against ovarian cancer. The pair were inseparable. The man became engaged to her when he was just 21 years old, and the two would go on to be married for 34 years. That's nearly twice my age. And now, instead of making more memories with the
Nearly twice your age? How young are you talking at?
companion of his life, he was making funeral speeches and writing thank you letters to those who came to the service. The amount of exertion something like this can have on one's heart is no joke. Only mere moments after the eulogy, the man was found slumped over in his house, in the middle of writing thank you letters. He had literally passed away from a broken heart. Doctors said his grief was so profound that it caused him to have a heart attack.
That's so horrible, guys. And I get that because sometimes when you're sad because of someone you love, like the pain, it actually feels like it could kill you. So I think it's understandable, but it's still crazy though.
And this wasn't just an isolated incident, it's a phenomenon that happens to many others as well. It's called broken heart syndrome, or Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. It's a temporary heart condition triggered by
Takotsubo
intense emotional or mental stress
cardiomyopathy.
that makes the heart's main pumping chamber weaken, causing it to mimic the symptoms of a literal heart attack. soda cans. Imagine that it's a hot
Soda cans were cooked.
summer day and you've done nothing but bask in the sun's overwhelming rays of
Oh
heat all
no,
morning.
bro.
You're parched, so you go indoors to get yourself a nice cold can of soda. But, to your disappointment, none of the drinks were put away in the fridge. They were left out on the table, so now they're just warm and gross.
Dang.
You come up with an idea. You take one of the cans of soda and throw it into the freezer in order to speed up the
No,
cooling of the
no,
beverage.
no.
To wait for it to cool down, you go and watch some YouTube and then end up falling asleep. Hours pass, and you forget that you left the soda in there. Eventually, when you wake up and stumble across your fridge again, you remember that you put a soda in its freezer. Hoping that the drink
Probably
hasn't frozen solid, you
exploded.
quickly take it out of the freezer, crack it open, and boom. Just like that. The can explodes like a hand grenade right in front of your face. This is a real case that happened to a boy in China on August 25th, 2012. Luckily for this boy, however, medical professionals were able to save him and nurse him
What
back to
the
health.
fuck?
Frozen soda cans are extremely dangerous, and in some cases, they're even lethal. Freezing them forces the carbon dioxide in the soda
Yeah.
to create tightly packed reservoirs inside of the can that store high amounts of energy similar to a bomb. So keep your soda in the fridge, and if you do put it in the freezer, don't
Hey, you know when they say kill your enemies with kindness, this is what I'm thinking about. But when I'm thinking kindness, I'm not talking like real kindness. You pretend like it's kindness. Imagine you freeze it. I'm busy. I'm coming. Imagine you freeze it and then you clean it so it doesn't look frozen. It just feels cold, and then you give your enemy and they open it and boom, killing with kindness.
forget to take it out so that you don't go boom, boom. Gooning.
Gooning.
Hi, how are you?
All my friends are cooked.
Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a couple of ways that gooning can take you out. But, so that this video doesn't get demonetized, I'll be swift on the topic.
Please.
The risk of passing away from this is extremely low, especially if you're a healthy individual. However, if you're struggling with any underlying cardiovascular diseases, it's possible that excessiveness could trigger a heart attack, arrhythmia, or a stroke. On September 18th, in 2019, a heartbroken teen suffering from depression would find himself unable to ignore how his last Valentine's Day went. I don't really know how, but he snuck past his parents and locked himself away in a room where he then gooned himself to destruction. He gooned 56 times until he had a heart attack. However, I'd take this case with a huge gulp
56 times. Damn.
of salt, because due to the bizarreness of his passing, tons of media outlets have exaggerated how he went out, often claiming that he did it 100 times and ripped his thing off his body, which is obviously just not true.
That's
Vending machines.
Wait. So the limit is 55 times, huh? Okay.
He was infuriated. A man had just put the only dollar he had on him into the vending machine, and his snack was stuck inside of the machine, floating in limbo.
I feel
The
him.
problem had a simple solution.
Bro
Just
say
shake the stupid
limbo.
clanker. The man began rocking the vending machine back and forth over and over again until his snack finally fell and was free for him to take. Unfortunately, however,
Oh,
it
no.
wouldn't be the only thing to fall. The 1,200-pound vending machine would also tip over on him and crush his neck against a wall. The man would be pinned against the wall, struggling to keep the machine from fully flattening his neck, but sadly, his efforts would prove to be fruitless. He wouldn't survive to see the next day. More people pass away from vending machines than they do shark attacks. There's about 2 to 4 casualties from vending machines each year in the US. So, if the machine isn't giving up your snack, you can get angry at it, you can swear at it, but don't get into a fight with it. 10 out of 10 times, you will lose. Sudden choking. Imagine this. You're hanging out with your friends, chilling at a party, and conversing with other people while losing
I wonder if spontaneous combustion will be on this list. Like you can just be chilling and you just light on fire and die.
track of time. And then that's when it hits you. You start choking on literally nothing. It's called a laryngospasm. It's a sudden, violent, and involuntary spasm of your vocal cords that is so forceful that it entirely blocks your body's airways. Mild cases of laryngospasms last just a few seconds, while more intense cases can last up to a few minutes, which is pretty horrifying when you think about it. 1 second, you're chilling on some mobile games. The next second, you're literally fighting for your life and suffocating on nothing.
I think the best thing to do in this situation is just stay calm, because if you're moving excessively, then you're just wasting oxygen in your body. Right, but it's something you need to know, like you need to be aware of, to know that you need to be calm, because if all of a sudden you just stop being able to breathe, of course you will crash out.
If this ever happens to you, don't panic or try to gasp for extra air. Remaining calm helps your muscles relax. Take
Exactly.
small sips of water to clear any possible
Ow.
lesions causing the spasm, and apply pressure on the soft spots behind your earlobes. It'll help your vocal cords ease up. And most importantly, seek professional help.
Do we have a soft
Restaurant
spot?
signs.
I don't know.
In
I don't
January
care.
2023, a swarm of fierce winds ripped through
Wait,
Elizabeth's
go back,
restaurant's
go back,
vocal
go back.
cords ease up. And most
Go
in a
back.
spasm, and apply pressure on the soft spots behind your earlobes. It'll help your
Oh,
vocal cords ease up. And most
yeah, that makes
importantly,
sense. I can
seek
feel it.
professional
So you
help.
guys try it.
Restaurant signs. In January 2023,
Restaurant
a storm of fierce
signs.
winds ripped through Elizabethtown,
Dang.
Kentucky. A family arrived at their favorite local Denny's to start their morning off with some warm pancakes and coffee, an entirely questionable option for breakfast. No offense. However, towering above the Denny's parking lot was an 80-foot sign weighing more than a ton. To most, the sign was a glowing beacon for bacon, eggs, and pancakes. But for this family, it became the last thing they'd ever see. A 72-year-old woman sat in the car with her husband and daughter when a storm outside struck. The pole groaned under the wind's pressure, then, without warning, it suddenly snapped. The massive sign came crashing down on the car, crushing
Damn.
the roof and trapping the family inside. Unfortunately, the 72-year-old lady didn't survive its impact, and her husband would also go on to pass away from the injuries the accident gave him.
What about
There are
the
multiple
child?
cases where restaurant signs, gas station signs, and
What
storefronts
about the child?
fall on people. So, never be discouraged to keep your distance from an unstable-looking board that's giving you an off feeling when you're entering a business.
You don't
Might
need
just
to
save
tell
your
me
life.
twice.
Sneezing. We all do it. You're sitting in a job interview or
Or
in a library
cooked.
or in front of your date, and then you feel it coming.
Especially me, because I hold my sneezes a lot. I'm cooked because I have a feeling that's always going to say something about blowing your brains or your earlobes from holding a sneeze.
The tingling sensation that tickles the small hairs inside of your nose, letting you know that you're about to sneeze. The natural thing to do is to let that sneeze fly. Well, while trying to not make a mess. But oftentimes instead, we just find ourselves stifling the sneeze. Don't. My anatomy teacher in high school always told us to break the habit, and honestly, it makes sense as to why. During a sneeze, if your mouth and nose are both closed, the pressure generated in the airways can surpass more than 20 times its normal amount. And in a recent case during 2023, a man sick with hay fever held in his sneeze by instinctively pinching his nose and closing his mouth. The force that built up in his airways was so immense that it literally tore open his windpipe. It's extremely rare to pass away from this, but nonetheless, holding in a sneeze just isn't worth gambling your life.
It's so crazy to me how fragile the human body actually is. You could literally die from anything. Quite literally anything.
Christmas trees. There's no better feeling in the
Christmas
world than to
trees.
finish setting up your Christmas tree just in time for the holidays. Nothing beats a Christmas with fruitcake, eggnog, and a house fire. US fire departments respond to an average of 200 home fires caused by Christmas trees each year. And as you would presume, these fires lead to
Understandable.
casualties. Christmas tree house fires are significantly more dangerous than normal fires in your home. This is because these fires usually occur at night or early morning when people have gone to sleep but left all of their decorations plugged in and lit up. They're usually caused by candles that were placed too close to the tree, faulty wires, or heat caused by all of the decorative electrical elements. And as opposed to normal house fires that are slow and steady in their startup, Christmas fires with a dry tree can ignite and spread across a room in less than just 30 seconds. So, with that being said, try not to get too carried away with your holiday spirit this year. Doing nothing. You see that
Now, this guy is just taking a piss out of us. Is it spontaneous combustion? Because that's the only thing that can kill you. I can think of that can kill you if you're doing nothing. Or maybe your heart just fails.
signs can fall on you, beverages can explode in your face, and that Christmas trees can set you ablaze in your sleep. So you decide that the best course of action for you to avoid all danger is doing absolutely nothing. And then you explode into a ferocious blaze.
I
so
knew
powerful
it!
that it leaves nothing but your feet behind.
I fucking
Weirdly enough,
knew it.
nothing else around you is affected.
I fucking knew it. Because spontaneous human combustion is a real threat. People don't even realize you could actually just catch on fire and die. Just like that. For no reason. And I'm sure the devil has something to do with it.
The couch you were sitting on, not the table in front of you, not the rug on the floor. Nothing. Just only specifically you. This is known as spontaneous human combustion.
That's
And
fucking
there are many
wild.
cases in the US about it. However, scientists nowadays discredit it fully and dub it as nothing more than a myth. They rather believe it to be the wick effect, which is when a person's clothing absorbs melted body fat during a fire and causes them to burn up, but leaves their surroundings relatively unharmed. Others feel like this isn't a
That's
sufficient
basically the same thing as far as I'm concerned.
enough explanation to the phenomenon, though. They argue that if the fire's hot enough to consume you entirely and leave nothing but ashes behind, then it
Right.
should also scorch nearby walls, furniture,
Right.
and flooring. They also say for the wick effect to be true, it needs a clear spark, like a lighter or a candle. But in many of the cases, the victims aren't found with anything heat-related. Toilet time. In Chicago, in 1987, a 70-year-old woman would board a cruise ship with her family. As they explored the wonders on board and enjoyed the pleasant feeling of being on the ocean, the old lady would be greeted with another, less than pleasant feeling. So she excused herself from her family and made her way to the ship's bar.
Unrelated, but I needed to take a shit before I started this video. Right, so this is just hilarious. Imagine if I die after this video. That would be crazy.
bathroom, and there she was greeted with the solution to her bowel troubles, the toilet. She closed the door behind her, sat on the seat, and did her business in peace. Minutes later, the ship's medical personnel would rush past the family to the bathroom where their grandma was last seen. Out of
That's
concern, the
crazy.
family would follow. And as if it were a scene straight out of a horror movie, they would be met with the sight of their grandma. Her insides were literally sucked out of her body by the ship's vacuum toilet. She was rushed to the emergency room once the crews docked at a port. And even though cases like these are extraordinarily rare, toilets have been shown to cause lethal
She
harm to civilians
survived.
in other ways. Take, for instance, exploding. In 2017, a federal class action lawsuit was filed against a toilet company called American Standard after it received 300 reports of its toilets literally blowing up. And even this year, in 2025, a 20-year-old man suffered serious burn injuries after he pressed the flush button on his toilet and it responded with a loud explosive bang. He was rushed to a hospital where
What in the... You can't even live anymore. You might as well just kill yourself because everything is trying to kill you, apparently.
the doctors revealed that 35% of his body was burned horribly by the explosion. But luckily,
What could even explode in a toilet?
he survived.
Oh, probably. But I don't think the methane has anything to do with him flushing and it exploding, though.
If you couldn't
That's
tell, this
crazy.
was a birthday special for the channel. It's my way of thanking you guys for all the support you've given me this year. In just 2 months, we grew from 10,000 subscribers to over 250,000. I'm extremely
Lucky. My birthday was a few days ago. I literally just went to cash in, not cash in, but like I had a 20% discount in the store. I went to buy some summer clothes. So yeah, but unfortunately for me, before my birthday and even now, my channel is at 0 subscribers. So I'm happy for him, and his channel is currently at 610 subscribers. So that's pretty cool. I like seeing people grow. I hope my channel is able to grow too sometime. Anyways, guys, before I end the video, you won't believe that I mistakenly ended the recording twice. So now I have three parts of the same video, like that's been cut. So I literally need to use an app and join them all together before I can post it, and I hate that so much. But I'll do that for you guys because it's probably less stressful than starting the whole video again. I want my reaction to be like actually genuine. I don't want it to be repeating. So yeah, that's all. I was outside today. It's so hot. It's 35 degrees or 34 degrees Celsius. So I went out and I was hot. I'm literally wearing a tank top. So I'm just low energy because I need to rest under the cool breeze. So bye guys. I'll see you all in the next one.